Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm slowly getting my voice back after having that cold. So I thought I'd bring you in here right quick and show you what I'm doing. I'm here in the shed working on the bean planter. And well, before I show you what I'm doing here on these press wheels, I'll take and show you what I was up to before. Well, earlier in the week here on the gauge wheels. I've actually already got all these here done, but put that light right there. I don't know if I can really show a whole lot now, but these gauge wheels here have adjustment, and there's a little thin washer. Some on this side, some on this side. In fact, you can see on that one there's a few more there. So what I did was I went clear through the thing and taking washers from this side and moving them over to here, which moves the wheel in just a little bit, because otherwise over time and that kind of stuff you can get a little bit of play in there, and you always want the gauge wheel running up right next to the double disc opener right here. And so that's what I did. Went across and readjusted all the gauge wheels, and that way everything's all good to go there. And actually on the gauge wheels there's a an update that you can put on, and I actually intend to do that here within the next couple years. That it's by Copperhead Ag, and it's just like a repair kit that you can put in there. You still use the same arm, but the way it clamps it down, it takes all the slop and everything like that out of it. And same thing as to what I'm doing here on these press wheels here on the frames. And that's right here, that little gold colored bushing. And so, like I say, when I was working on the gauge wheels, my voice was basically completely gone, so I couldn't really do any, definitely couldn't do any video. So, let's show you. Cordless impacts are sure handy. Okay, right there we are. And you can see the hole right there is a little bit watered out, but it's got that replaceable bushing, and you can see the groove in it right there. Going right down along that edge right there, how it's got that groove going down through there, compared to a new one. There we are. Okay. There's old, there's new, and you can see how that's got that groove in it right there. So I'm putting all new bushings in. I actually put these old bushings here, I put those in back when we got this planter, back in 2014. And there we go. You can see how it takes up a lot of that slop and everything and makes it back tight again. But like I say, I put those that first batch in back in 2014 when we got the planter. And I mean, they've run, what is that, 8 years now, roughly? Well, I guess going on 9 years. Because see, as the planter's going through the field, those press wheels are constantly flexing up as they roll over the ground, like that. And then of course you got the spring. You set that T handle in either 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then you have spring tension on it. For us in tilled ground that has already been worked for planting beans, I run here number 1. And for no-till beans, I kick all the T-handles back to notch 2. And same thing here on the press wheels, just like what I was talking about on the gauge wheels. Copperhead has a deal, and at first I thought it was the whole entire bracket, but just from what another farmer told me, it appears to be a piece that you weld on, and there's a bearing in there. And so it does away with that completely, and it just simply pivots on a bearing. Much better idea. And I actually want to take and do that, the gauge wheels and the press wheels on this planter. And in fact, actually, if my dad and I weren't actually kicking around a big idea, I would have actually done this project probably, well, at least the gauge wheels and then maybe the press wheel, the gauge wheels this year, the press wheels next year. But my dad and I are kicking around the idea of building another big machinery shed. And so right now I'm basically kind of spreading expenses out. And so that's why I figured, well, I'll put all new bushings in. I'll reset all these. I had to put some new washers in to readjust everything. And that basically gets it back to about like new anyway. And then hopefully once the new shed is built, then I can concentrate on this planter. But I'm not going to show you all these. After a while, it soon gets repetitive. You see one, you've seen them all. But same thing there. There's 2 of these per row, and so I had to get 62 bushings. And now I got to climb back out from behind the tire here, because I'm right here at the frame. But that's actually what I've been up to, working on the bean planter. And that is actually one thing that I like about the Kinze planter. Because even when it's folded up, it's up in the air, you can work on it. I have some things that I need to do to our corn planter. But with it being down low, I can't get to it. Well, sitting back, it's on the other side of the shed over there, behind the combine, clear in the opposite corner. But like I say, it's a John Deere, and so I can't work on it until I can get it pulled clear out of the corner and folded out. Because I gotta take the fertilizer pumps off, and I've got to do some stuff on the fertilizer coulters and that kind of thing. And I've got the parts all lined up, but I just can't do anything until I can get the planter pulled out. But that'll probably be a project coming on into March, because I don't really want to pull it all out now, because then I got to take and move everything out of the shed, pull it out, then try and put stuff back in. And like I say, I've got to open the planter up. Well, that takes up a lot of shed room. And so I'll just have to put that on hold until we get closer, more like coming into March and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, like I say, that's what I'm doing here on the Kinze. Once I get done with these, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I do know, if I remember correctly, I've got 2 bearings on 2 of these press wheels. I forget which ones now. I have to go through and look. But I need to go through and put 2 bearings in 2 of the press wheels. I went down through and spun them. In fact, that might be one right there, spinning kind of stiff. Otherwise, they basically just freewheel like that. But once I get those 2 bearings in, for the most part, the planter will be ready to go for springtime. And, one other thing. Up here on the no-till coulters, in fact, right there feels like one. I've got to go through and put some new bearings in these. And not all of them. That one feels good. Well, that one don't feel too bad, I guess. Sometimes what they do is they get dirt packed in between there. And even though I take a garden hose and wash the thing all out, you still can't get all that out of there. And so it makes it what can't turn stiff until you break it free. Okay, that one don't feel too bad. But there's some of these no-till coaters I got to put bearings into, which isn't too big of a deal. And once I get that done, like I say, the planter will be basically ready to go. So, well, hey, I think I'm going to call that an end to this video. So take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.